So we have a terrible new milestone that we hit in one of our forever wars. Take a look at this. Afghan civilians are for the first time being killed in greater numbers by U.S. and pro-government forces than by the Taliban and other insurgent groups, a UN report released Wednesday revealed. The bloody milestone comes as the U.S. steps up its air campaign in Afghanistan while pushing for a peace deal with the Taliban, who now control or influence more parts of the country than at any time since they were ousted in 2001. Jesus Christ. During the first 3 months of 2019, international and pro-government forces were responsible for the deaths of 305 civilians, whereas insurgent groups killed 227 people. The United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan said in a quarterly report. The majority of the deaths resulted from U.S. airstrikes or from search operations on the ground, primarily conducted by U.S.-backed Afghan forces, some of which UNAMA said appear to act with impunity. So think about how disastrous that is and how terrible that is. The U.S. and our allies are now killing more civilians than the goddamn Taliban, and the Taliban is controlling more of the country than they did ever since 2001 when we went in there. This war is 18 years old. This war can vote. Now, go ask anybody who still supports this war, if you could find anybody who does among the people. Probably not going to find them, only in the establishment they do. Ask them, hey, what's victory? Define victory for me. When can we plant the flag and get out and say, mission accomplished, baby? They don't have an answer for you. So if they don't have an answer for you, what does that mean? It means they just want to stay there forever. Why would they want to stay there forever? 2 reasons. Number 1, mineral wealth. There's trillions of dollars in mineral wealth in Afghanistan. Number 2, military-industrial complex, baby. Don't take it from me. Take it from Dwight Eisenhower, a Republican president. What did he say? He said, people make a lot of money. Executives make a lot of money from going to war. If we're always bombing stuff, and we're always invading places, and we're always arming nefarious actors around the world, whether it's human rights violating governments or terrorist rebel groups, well, that's part of the economy. Always got to build the tanks, always got to build the helicopters, always got to build the body armor, always got to build all this stuff, the guns. And so it's an economy. And in a very disgusting, evil, genius, clever way, there are military-industrial complex jobs in every state in the country. So now our welfare in this country is warfare. We have a jobs program that's tied to our endless wars. And this is one of the main reasons why we're still in this situation today. But think about it. Taliban is more powerful than it's ever been in the past 18 years, and we've been there the whole time. So that's like the exact opposite effect of what they say they wanted to happen. And by the way, the whole reason we were there is we got to get Al-Qaeda for 9/11. Well, Al-Qaeda's no longer even there. There's some ISIS fighters there, but there's also the Taliban there. Actually, ISIS and the Taliban were fighting not that long ago. Let them fight. Get the fuck out. Get out. I mean, you want to give humanitarian aid to the people who are there? I get it. By all means, go right ahead. The people who are, relatively secular, but that's the problem, guys, is it's not even like we're aligned with good people, full stop. There were stories that were broken not that long ago about how we've aligned ourselves with warlords, and we look the other way as they have fucking child sex slaves. We're on the side with some of the people with fucking child sex slaves in Afghanistan. Are you kidding me? This is what your government is doing with your money and in your name. Your tax dollars are funding an 18-year war with no end in sight, where now we're killing more civilians than the goddamn Taliban. You remember the Kunduz hospital strike? Our Air Force, our air power, destroyed a fucking hospital and killed countless civilians. And then we have the nerve to turn around the next day and say, well, we have to stay in Afghanistan. Why? We have to protect the civilians. You just killed them the day before. At best, you're just massively incompetent. Whoopsies, I killed your mother and some kids. Meanwhile, here at home, our infrastructure is crumbling. Gets a grade of D+. Half of workers in this country make $30,000 a year or less. 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Nearly 30 million don't have health insurance. And we're in Afghanistan permanently. Get out. Get out now, get out yesterday, get out the day before yesterday. We're done with it.